Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a really hard, honest look at the world of affiliate and digital marketing. We are basically going to evaluate our own business practices with a high-energy, no-holds-barred breakdown of what actually separates a legitimate, thriving enterprise from, well, a fragile house of cards. And we're pulling all of this directly from some incredibly eye-opening source material that challenges the very foundation of how a lot of entrepreneurs operate out there.
So, let's dive right into it. Are you a scammer and you don't even know it? I know it stings a little, right? But this uncomfortable question is absolutely crucial for digital entrepreneurs to ask themselves. A lot of really well-intentioned people get swept up in business models where they unknowingly adopt practices that the outside world views as highly suspicious. So if you've ever felt like your hustle is just totally misunderstood by people, this is exactly what we need to unpack today.
All right, Section 1, the hard truth.
Let's talk about that friction you might be facing out there. If you're hearing this or feeling this, you know the exact intense agitation that comes with it. You've got a legitimate opportunity. You absolutely know there is real money to be made, but when you present it, people reject it. Or worse, they straight up label your opportunity as a scam. The source material points out that this often happens not because the product itself is fake, but entirely because of how the opportunity is being presented to the prospect.
So how do we fix this? Well, it requires a massive shift in identity. You aren't just an affiliate, and you certainly aren't just a recruiter. You need to become a resolution specialist. That is your ultimate goal. A resolution specialist doesn't just blindly chase a commission. They actively identify someone's problem and direct them to the exact solution they need. If your mindset isn't anchored in actually solving problems, you are walking a very, very dangerous, scammy line.
Moving on to Section 2, the scammy approach.
Let's actually look at what that wrong side of the line looks like with a real-world example. Imagine a physical product. Let's say it's a $100 weight loss supplement. The company offers a really lucrative payout, a 50% commission for every direct sale you make. That's $50 right in your pocket. But there's an extra incentive, right? A 25% Tier 2 commission, meaning if you bring someone else in to sell the product, you get 25% of their sales too. Now, the structure itself is totally normal in affiliate marketing, but it is a massive trap for the wrong mindset.
Here is where the roads totally diverge. The scammy focus looks at that supplement and completely ignores the weight loss benefits. Like, entirely. Instead, they just pitch the opportunity to make a quick 50% commission. They tell their friends, hey, sign up under me, and we'll recruit more people, and they'll recruit more people, and we're all gonna get rich. The legit focus, on the other hand, finds people who actually want to lose weight and sells them the supplement because it solves their specific physical problem.
And that brings us to a quote from our source that just hits the nail on the head. If you take the actual product, the weight loss supplement in this case, completely out of the equation and only focus on the money changing hands through recruitment, you have basically turned a legitimate product into a backdoor money grab. You're trying to solve someone's lack of money by asking them for money so they can ask other people for money. I mean, that is literally the essence of a scam.
Which brings us to Section 3, providing real solutions. So how do we flip the script here? Let's shift our focus over to the digital product space, because that's where so many online entrepreneurs operate today. Digital products are amazing because they often have incredibly low barriers to entry. Take a $7 entry-level affiliate marketing training, for example. Because it's digital and has literally zero overhead, the creators will often pay out a thrilling 100% commission. You sell it for $7, you keep $7. It's just an incredible hook to get people into a legitimate business ecosystem.
But, and this is a huge but, that scammy mindset can kick right back in immediately. A marketer thinks, wow, if I just blast this link everywhere and get 100 people to pay $7, I just made $700. Look, if your entire pitch is just telling people they can make money by referring other people to a $7 link, you are still operating like a scammer. You are completely 100% ignoring the actual value of what that training teaches.
Section 4, the digital skills advantage. Because listen, the real wealth in this industry, it is absolutely not in a $7 recruitment fee. It's in the education. A legitimate digital product actually teaches you how to do email marketing, how to host webinars, how to use complex website builders, and how to master direct messaging and follow-ups. These skills are your true, highly valuable assets. Once you learn these, you aren't just an affiliate anymore. You're a highly capable digital marketer.
Let's look at the massive difference in how this actually plays out. On one hand, you're hustling day and night, bugging your cousin Larry, trying to convince him to buy a $7 money scheme. On the other hand, you actually learned how to use a website mega builder from that training. Now, instead of bothering your friends and family, you walk into a local brick-and-mortar business that desperately needs a modern website and you set them up on a $100 a month platform where you earn a recurring affiliate commission. See the difference? You just solved a real problem.
And you know, this is exactly how you build a massive business ecosystem. Local gyms need people through the door. Physical product sellers need email marketing campaigns. Mom and pop shops need follow-up systems. You can use the exact tools you learned as an affiliate to build their infrastructure. You are now a true resolution specialist, creating a genuine, sustainable business model rather than just relying on a super fragile chain of recruits.
All right, let's bring it home with Section 5, Climbing Success Mountain.
Look, you can't just teleport straight to the top of the mountain. First, you start at the base. You master those basics we just talked about, maybe with that entry-level course. Second, you lean into the community. Our source material mentions communities of over 140,000 members out there, including 8-figure earners that you can actually model yourself after. And finally, you prove you can be trusted with the basics before you scale up to the big table. As they say, you do not get invited to the VIP room if you don't know how to act in the lobby.
Which leaves us with this one absolutely vital question to ask yourself today as you evaluate your daily grind. Take a hard look at your efforts over the last week. Are you just building a fragile, easily broken team of recruiters trying to make a quick buck? Or are you taking the time to master digital skills, provide real value, and build a highly profitable business of problem solvers? The choice between a scammy hustle and a legitimate empire is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.
Freedom ain't the weekend. It's a mindset. It's that moment you realize your time is the real currency. We don't clock out. We cash in on purpose. Welcome to Freedom Friday. With vision, Friday end with proof. I ain't built no luck, I built the truth. 17 weeks, no breaks, no flinch. Consistency, my cloth, can't tear an inch. The grind feels sacred when you know your lane. Turn struggle to syllabus, pressure to gain. I used to chase weekends, now I own my days. Design my time, redefine pay. Boss of my rhythm, freedom in sight. Every scroll I wrote got another so right. They talk hustle, but they miss the plan. Work for peace, that's the real demand. From the live to the link to the legacy taught. I ain't sold out, I sold thoughts that bought. Every small trickle now flows like rain. Freedom Friday, I broke those chains.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all we rise.
I earn my rest cause I earn my grind. Peace ain't cheap when you bought your time. Every no I heard was a lesson taught. Every delay was a seed I bought. From comment credits to crowns of faith. Freedom Friday ain't a date, it's a state. Made discipline sexy, consistency cool. I ain't follow they trend, I rewrote the rule. Hustleberry sing the souls back home, while I talk numbers on the microphone. Edutainment the vibe, we built this bridge. Music meet money on the same bridge. Friday ain't weak, it's strong by design. Freedom the fruit of a disciplined mind. Celebrate now, we ain't done by far. We ain't chasing weekends, we chasing stars.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all week now.
They say the grind don't sleep, I let peace work shift. I ain't burnt out, I refine my gift. Scroll after scroll, turn story to seed. Now faith pay interest on everything I lead. I ain't waiting on Friday to feel alive. Every day now got that freedom vibe. No clock in, no boss tone calling. Self-made CEO of my morning. Used to measure worth by the payday sums. Now I measure peace by how calm I become. From dark weeks to bright ends we grow. Freedom ain't luck, it's what we know. Built my legacy off discipline, say. Now every Friday feels like heaven's pay. Hustle bear, let it berry harmonize. Freedom Friday, we monetize the rise.
It's Freedom Friday. We made it through the grind. Oh yeah. Time to free your peace of mind. Strong all week now, watch us fly. It's Freedom Friday. We built this we built this life. We built this life.
The first job is being split into smaller pieces. For years, the assumption was simple. You graduate, you find an entry-level role, and that role becomes the doorway into a career. But that doorway is narrower now. Entry-level postings have fallen from 44% to 38.6%, while AI-driven layoffs at companies like Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle have made the same starting line more crowded. That is why recent grad unemployment has reached 5.6%. The hidden mechanism is not that Gen Z stopped wanting stability. It is that stability is being rebuilt from parts. Instead of waiting for one company to provide the whole career ladder, many grads are assembling their own first rung. 38% are turning to entrepreneurship, 32.5% are turning to gig work, 28% are freelancing. Think of the old career like a train, one track, one ticket, one destination. The new career is more like a toolkit. One project builds income. One client builds proof. One side business builds leverage. One early opportunity builds momentum. That does not mean the traditional path is gone. 77% of the class of 2025 still found jobs within 3 months, but many landed outside their dream careers, using application tools and early preparation programs to move faster. The first job has not disappeared. It has changed shape.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 46, day 5, and we are right at 14 minutes into today's challenge. And I'm excited, as usual, but I'm even more excited today because today, as we pull back the curtain, today is a special day. Today is a day that we're going to do something unlike what we've done before. So it's always good to keep a consistent flow, right? Give people what they come to expect. But it's also good to give people a little bit of a surprise, just to keep people on their toes, just to show people that there's always a new level, a new way of doing things. And today is going to be one of those days that you're going to be happy that you actually attended this live. So if you're here live, I want you to start out by putting a 1 in the comment section. Now, if you just so happen to be here watching on a replay, I want you to put a 2 in the comment section because I still want to know who you are. And I want to make sure that I'm speaking to everybody that is witnessing this live. And I'm going to ask you this also. Stay to the end of this live, because at the end, you're going to be able to take part in the opportunity that, you won't see anywhere else. So I want to get right into it because I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to give you as much valuable information today to help you be informed and make as best a decision as possible. Something that'll help you for the rest of your life, hopefully. The right person who receives this information, they will take this information and they will apply it, and they'll be able to come back and say, I'm glad I attended, and I appreciate all of the value and all of the help and all of the tools that you have provided to help me get to where I am today. Okay, so with that, I know we're looking at it. We're looking at the most valuable document in all of online marketing, right? The Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge doc. But I got another document that I want to share with you guys today. And this is going to be very interesting. And I hope, once again, I hope the right people, the right group of people understand. And this right here, I'm going to give you a quick disclosure before we start. This right here is intended for edutainment purposes, meaning that this is helpful information, but it's also entertainment. And it's also designed to inspire and motivate the right people and help you get that mindset shift that is required in order to help you move from point A all the way through point Z. So we're going to start off on another document that I created. It's my presentation slide, right? So doing this, I do this pretty often, right? I started getting more into the habit of doing my own presentations. I got some things in the tuck that I'm going to share with you guys going forward. But this one right here is special because I decided to not record it. Matter of fact, last night I was up till probably like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. And I was thinking to myself, if I was going to record this and just keep it as a recording and then share it. Then I said, no, I think the Hustler's 10-minute a day live is where this need to be displayed. And I wanted to do it live because that's one of the keys to success. That's one of the main tools that a lot of people avoid using. The fact of going live, the ability to engage with people and to catch them live and while you're present. Now, I'm going to go through this presentation and I want to be able to do a Q&A session for the people that, possibly watch on the replay, or I plan on doing, some live replays where I'm going to be watching in the background and I want to still be able to engage with the people that are watching technically live, right? So we're going to get through this. And this is going to be one of those moments, once again, that you're going to be glad that you didn't miss. So first, I have this graphic here, and this is one of the banners and one of the thumbnails that I use. And right here it says, welcome to the Hustleverse. Real strategies, no fluff, just results. AI automation, work smarter, scale faster. Build freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, inspire, motivate, educate, elevate. We don't just talk hustle, we live it. Now let's get to the next slide. So this one right here says, are you fit to lay pipe? Now, depending on where you from, right? I got to laugh. I'm a little petty, but I came up with that title right there based off of an article that I read. But of course, in some areas, depending on where you from, it could have dual meaning. Some people might not get it, but that's okay. But I wanted to use that title because, it speaks to a couple of different, demographics. Some people that might, get the dual reference, those people are my target audience. People that, come from a certain place that use certain terms, certain things that's funny, certain things that's a little lighthearted, yet still serious. But then there's another world of people that, see that and they have no idea what the dual purpose meaning is for that. But today, I'm not going to talk to you guys about, the funny, dual purpose of that reference right there. I'm going to talk to you guys about something that's very, very important, and something that, I came across just, no more than 24 hours ago. It was an article that inspired me so much that it inspired me to do this presentation. So that it has to be a special article in order to do that. And matter of fact, I didn't even read the full article. And right now, I'm gonna pull it up for you so that we can actually get it started and you can see what it's all about. So, of course, my journey to finding this came when I opened up the new tab. So, I talk about one of my favorite online tools, which is simply just pressing the new tab button on my browser. So, I came across this article, and the title of it is I took a paid apprenticeship instead of going to college. I'll make six figures within 5 years. The stability I feel is incredible. Now, I'm looking at this. I see the picture of the young man, and I believe his name is Chris Rocha. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing his last name right. But this young man has a special story, and it relates to what we're going to be going over today. So it says here 18-year-old Chris Rocha chose a 5-year pipe fitting apprenticeship over college. Rocha earns nearly 60K now and is on track to make six figures when his apprenticeship is over. He thinks the job is AI proof and values the stability despite missing college's social aspect. All right, all right. So there's a lot in that right there. We got the keywords that always pop up. The keyword that always pops up throughout so many articles, so many things that we go over. AI. So this gentleman right here put himself in a position that is going to help him achieve what most people want to achieve. And this right here is really telling. He believes that this job is AI proof. That's a great thing. Nowadays, you definitely want to be strategic in the opportunities that you take advantage of. If you're trying to do things in more of a traditional way of doing it, you have to be aware of, the potential for AI to actually take over and, possibly replace you in that aspect, right? So we're not going to read too much into the article because I believe it gave enough information right there for us to go off of. And in my presentation, we're going to dive deep into what this really means for you, possibly as an online marketer, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who, you know, you might not be fit to lay pipe, but you might be fit to lay pipe, right? But either way, this right here is for you. So it says here, most people think the only way to make six figures is to go to college or break your back in a trade. But what if I told you that someone with zero experience, zero certifications, and zero technical skills could make more money than a trained pipe fitter just by understanding how online business works? So today I'm breaking down the real numbers behind the pipe fitting industry. And then I'm going to show you how a beginner can build a profitable affiliate marketing business by promoting the tools these workers already buy every single year. Let's get into it. And right off top, it makes me think about something that I've been saying for years. One of the keys to success, or one of those principal things that I've um, come across in the last, let's say, since I've been on my journey, right? Since I've been on my online journey, I've been looking at what helps a person become successful. And I've used the reference of the uh, the gold mining situation back in the day when everybody was trying to search for gold. And those people would go to different mines and they would dig and they would dig and they would dig and they would dig in search of gold. But the majority of those people didn't find gold. It was only a few people that actually came back with actual gold. But people that did make the most money, the people that did the best and had, the most rewards were the people that sold the tools, people that sold the shovels, the axe picks, the buckets, all of the things that the people who are actually going to do the work of digging and, looking for the gold, what they were going to do, these people had the solution for. And just like in that beginning training, we talked about, are you potentially, a scammer, or are you a resolution specialist? So now is the time to decide, who are you going to be? And is a is a big distinction between the two, and is a fine line that a lot of people walk, and they might not know that they're walking it. But in this training right here, we're going to get to the heart of how you can become a resolution specialist and you can avoid being a scammer. So let's move forward. So in this article in itself, it talks about an 18-year-old apprentice pipe fitter. And, a pipe fitter, that income isn't that bad. Starts at $28.76 an hour. Depending on where you live, that's a pretty good income. In New York, that might not be that great. In California, that might not be that great. But let's say somewhere, let's say here in Virginia, it sounds a little bit better. Let's say somewhere a little bit farther down south, Georgia, that sounds a little bit better. But it says that's nearly 60K a year right out of high school. So after a 5-year apprenticeship, they can earn 100K to 115K a year. So a person doing this particular job, they can earn a pretty good income. Once again, depending on what part of the country they live in, hey, you find this opportunity and you're living in the right place, you can live pretty good, right? So it says the union receives around 800 applicants every year. So I want you to keep that number in mind, 800. So 800 applicants every year. The job is considered AI proof because it requires hands-on physical work. So for now, those AI robots, they're acting up in restaurants. They can't fully serve people, without bugging out. If you've seen any of the recent videos of the AI, they bring the food to the table, the AI robot, and then it just started to spaz out. And the workers had to come to try to tame the AI robot. So we're not quite there yet with trusting AI robots to do, some real serious hands-on physical work. So in that case right there, I think we're pretty safe to say that, pipe fitters is a real, stable, high demand career that AI is not yet ready to replace. But here's the part most people don't talk about. It takes 5 years of training, long hours, early mornings, and physical labor to reach that 6-figure level. So it's not an easy job. You have to invest time, energy, and money, right? So we're talking about the real world. It's not going to be something that you're going to say to yourself, "Oh, can I get access for free? Can I do this for free? Am I going to, turn this into an overnight success?" No. This is the real world. And of course, in the real world, we live and deal with reality. So this particular skill set takes 5 years of training. And not everyone wants or can handle that path. But for the chosen few, we appreciate you because this is very important. Pipe fitting. Just about every building on the planet has a pipe in it, right? So we talk about value and providing solutions. So what training is required? So let's talk a little bit about that. So once again, to become a pipe fitter, you need a 5-year paid apprenticeship, full-time work, plus 2 nights of classes per week, as explained in that article, right? You also need math, science, and hands-on skills training, a high school diploma, birth certificate, transcript, a contractor job before joining the union. So you need a few things in order to get this going. You have to once again invest in doing your proper research, joining the right, opportunities to first get those math skills, the science skills, and the hands-on training. You have to be willing to learn, right? It says 2 nights of classes per week. So just like with your online business, you have to be willing to learn, to attend the classes, to attend the trainings. On a weekly basis, I probably attend maybe up to 5 or more live training sessions that help me sharpen my skills, that help me be able to provide value to you guys on a daily basis. So even with this particular opportunity here, you still have to do your training and learning. So you can't ever skip out on training and learning. But the thing about it is, some trainings is harder than others. And as I said in the last slide, this is not for everybody. So this is a serious commitment. Once again, it's honorable, it's respectable, but it's not for everyone. And here's where the opportunity opens up for you. So we're going to start talking about the hidden gold mine most people miss. And it's a big one. So pipe fitters, first off, they need tools. Not once, not twice, but constantly. They buy various things. They buy various tools, right? So work boots, welding helmets, pipe cutters, measuring tools, tool bags, safety gear, workwear, replacement parts, specialty tools. And when it comes to that, you know, they have to get these items from somewhere. They have to buy these required tools. And that's when, or that's where you can come in to play. Now, I want to share with you guys something that I've shared with people years ago. And it's an opportunity that's readily available to just about everybody in the United States and in various other countries, right? And it's an opportunity that's probably right under your nose. And you probably deal with this particular opportunity or company on a daily basis, and you never think about doing business with them. But this right here might help you open up your mind and change your mindset to how you can actually apply what you've already been doing, possibly on a weekly or monthly basis, and turn it into an opportunity for yourself. So, what I want to pull up for you is this special website right here. This special website called Amazon, Amazon.com. Now, Amazon.com is a powerful website. It's powerful for more than one reason. Sure, you can get all of the products that you might ever want to purchase. Everything that you need for your household stuff, everything that you need for, you know, your groceries, your audible, so pet supplies, beauty and personal care, just about everything imaginable. Amazon probably literally has a million different products on their website. But this is what becomes of value to you. If you scroll down to the bottom of the Amazon page, there's a couple of sections that a lot of people might miss. Now, it's not this last section all the way down here, so don't scroll all the way down to the bottom, but it's this section right here, right before the bottom. And specifically, it's right here. The section that says become an affiliate. Now, this one powerful button, this one powerful link is kind of like that link in the most valuable document in all of online marketing, the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge doc, right? Let me pull that back up just in case you might have forgot, right? So it's kind of like this link right here. This link gives you access to a foundational training system that provides you with the training that you need and gives you access to the tools that you need in order to build any type of business that you want, right? Amazon, they have a special link where you can become an affiliate. And with you becoming an affiliate, you can promote most of the possible 1 million products and services that they have to offer. So, how does this become important for you? Well, let's go back to the presentation. And we're going to look at a couple of things just for reference purposes and to help you make an educated decision and help you, get those light bulb moments. So the first thing on the list is this: work boots, right? Well, if we go to Amazon.com, we can search up work boots. So let's click on work boots. Now, once we pull up work boots, we can see that there's a bunch of work boots listed in various price ranges, right? So you can get something that's very expensive or something that's very inexpensive. But if you're doing a specific job, let's say like pipe laying, you might want to invest a good amount into some quality footwear, right? Depending on what type of pipes you're laying, they could be pretty, big pipes, heavy. And if you happen to drop them on your foot, depending on the footwear that you're using, hey, that could be a pretty serious situation. So some people, in construction, they go with things like steel-toed boots, right? So in this industry, more than likely, a person would want to get something like a steel-toed boot, something that's pretty durable so that if a pipe happens to fall on the foot, you won't be in as much pain. Now, I don't know if it'll completely protect you like that, but it'll make it a lot better than if you were wearing some slippers, right? Makes sense. Now, I want to click on this just so that you can see. So in particular, we're looking at this Timberland Pro boot, right? It says it's $164. That's pretty reasonable. I think it's a pretty reasonable price for a person that's in the industry that is looking to earn, in their career over 100K a year, right? This is a pretty affordable product, right? So we got to think about our target audience, right? Our target customer. We're not dealing with people that are earning or are in the industry that makes minimum wage. We're thinking about professionals who have an income level that can afford some premium products. And we're also thinking about the fact that we're promoting premium products that they actually need to them to help them continue to earn their living. Like, it goes back to the saying of, I hear a lot of people online when they say, when it comes to coaching programs and different things like that, they ask the question of this: if I have a product or service that costs $1,000 investment, right? And that product is designed to help you yield 100K, let's say, right? Wouldn't you invest that 1K in order to get the outcome? Even if it was 10K that it costs for, the product or service, wouldn't that be worth it to you to consistently do that year after year? So in the pipe fitting industry, if a person stays in that industry for, let's say, 10 years, that's $1 million that they could possibly have earned in that career of being a pipe fitter. So earning that type of income in that job, wouldn't it require, or wouldn't it be reasonable that that person might make a pretty substantial investment over the course of those years? Now, mind you, we're talking about a pair of boots. How long do these boots possibly last? How long will they last in this particular industry? You not being 100% careful, you dropping pipes, denting up the boots, you walking through areas that, you're scuffing up your boots. You might need a couple of pairs of boots because, hey, you get some damage on them. You still got to go to work, and you can't, once again, just slip on any type of boots, right? So now we're thinking. Now we're thinking. We have a product and service that serves people and that they actually need. Now, looking at this right here, it tells you, since I'm an Amazon affiliate, it tells you right here the commission rate. So boots is in the categories of shoes, right? 4% commission. Now, yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. Some people, they avoid becoming an Amazon affiliate because they say, well, the commission rates are so small. I'd rather promote something that pays 50% or, up to 100%, whatever it is, right? And I understand that. That makes sense. But most people are looking at numbers the wrong way. I look at numbers in the way of thinking, the old saying of that compound interest question. Would you rather have, $1 million given to you, or would you rather have a penny doubled every day over the next 31 days, right? And a lot of people who can't, fathom that, who can't understand the process of how it works, they go with the higher number. They figure, oh, I'm just going to take that lump sum and they're going to come out better. But when we think about compound interest and being able to have something that builds upon itself, we find out that taking the penny doubling every day is more valuable. So this right here is one of those similar types of situations. Now, when we're talking about having a real business, we're talking about having real customers. And it goes back to that intro training where it talked about, the idea that people have when they have a product or service and they don't really focus on the product. They want to focus on the opportunity to have somebody else sell this product or service so that they can sell it to somebody else and so on and so forth. So, that borderline situation where it becomes somewhat of a scammy type situation where they're not focusing on the real products. They're focusing on the end result instead. So that puts some people in the mindset of, being money hungry, money driven instead of solution driven, right? But let's look at this. Let's say 1% of $164 is $1.60, let's say, right? So say 4 times that. So that's more like $6 and change. So for every pair of boots that you sell, you get $6. Yeah, that's not a lot of money. That's not a lot. But of course, when you're dealing with products and services like on Amazon, there's more than one type of boot. There's higher price ranges. So depending on what product you're going to actually promote and sell. So there's ranges. You might not want to focus on this particular boot. But even if you did focus on this particular boot and you want to recall the number, right, of how many applicants are actually going into this field. So 800 applicants a year, right? So if you say, hey, 800 applicants a year, and I can service or provide a solution to 100 of those applicants. Okay, that's $600 that you could possibly earn by providing this particular boot solution for those 100 people. Okay, you might still say, hey, that's not a lot of money, but that's just one thing on the list. They're going to need more than boots. They're going to also need possibly a welding helmet or welding helmets, the pipe cutters, once again, the measuring tools, tool bags, safety gear, workwear, replacement parts, specialty tools. So at this point, it's on you to become an expert in this industry, not at doing the actual work, but at identifying all of the tools that a person in this industry needs. So imagine you get $6 from a pair of boots. Then you search up, let's say, you search up the next thing, welding helmets. And you say, okay, welding helmets. You see how much the price range is on these. And let's just look at this one right here. This one, nice round price. It says $99, right? So it says with this, the helmet, 3% commission. So let's round it up to $100 for this helmet. So we say $3. Okay, so now that same 100 people that purchased the boots from you, more than likely, they're gonna need the helmet. So that's another $300 that you're earning, possibly. So why? Let me ask you this other question. If you're able to guide them in the right direction in one of the most valuable and powerful sites on the planet that just about everybody in the world knows about, and if they're willing to purchase the boots from Amazon, then why wouldn't they be willing to purchase the helmet from Amazon, right? And what if the specific thing about Amazon was that they can go in there, or you can be just promoting the work boots, so you can share with them the link to the work boots, but they already know in their mind, they have a list already of the things that they need. And they go in through your link and they purchase the boots. And then they do another search. They just do a search because they know they're going to need the welding helmets. Now, technically, you only promoted the boots, but they go in and they purchase the work boots and the welding helmets. Now, the special thing about Amazon is this. It doesn't just say that you can earn a commission from the one link that you share. It says that this person is cookied, something that we call cookie is cookie to you. So that means if they make a purchase of any item going through your initial link, you have the potential to earn an income or to earn a commission from that link click. Is a specific time frame that they're cookie to you. So let's say they're starting this new position. They live in they've moved to a new area first and foremost, right? Let's say they move somewhere, and not only do they need the tools for their job, they're just about to start this new job, they need all the tools, but they just moved into a new apartment or a new house, and they also got to get some stuff for the house. So they decide that they want to make a purchase of a TV. So they go and they get their helmet and everything like that, and then uh they do a search on Amazon also for a TV. And they want to get a pretty good TV. So I like Amazon because it has the ability for you to scroll the price ranges, right? They don't want a real cheap TV. They want something pretty decent. They want to be able to, after a long day at work doing a hard job like laying pipe, they want to be able to relax and enjoy the fruits of their labor. So they say to themselves, hey, I'm living the life. I got this job, I earn pretty good, and I want to treat myself. I want to get this $2,500 TV, this 100-inch TV in my nice new apartment, my nice new house. And you click on that, and you see, okay, 2% commission on that, right? So let's say that's, $20, $40 right there. So $40 commission that you could possibly earn because that individual decided that, hey, I need a TV for my house also. Not particularly that you shared the link for the particular TV with them, but the fact that they decided to, get more than just their work required tools, that now they want to actually fit their house. So now those 2%, those 4% sounding a little bit different now, right? Sound a little bit different. But then you might say, hey, these things sound good. And then you want to think about what other type of value can I give to a person like this? Well, maybe they're just getting involved in the industry. They're still on the course of, starting the 5 years training. Now, you want to be the person that, helps educate them along their journey. So maybe they don't know about all the equipment that they need to invest in. But what if you created a special document for them? Maybe you created a checklist. Maybe you created a special training that taught them about the best type of boots to purchase for this particular job, the best welding helmets. Not only just referring products and services, but actually educating people on how to make the right decision so that they don't buy the wrong version. How much would a person actually invest in themselves in order to avoid making the mistake? And this is what online marketing, specifically affiliate marketing, with the particular opportunity that I share with you guys on a daily basis, teach about. It teaches you how to think in a different way. Well, for the right people that see what the opportunity actually teaches you, they'll get it. But for the other ones, they'll lean more towards the, hey, if I just share a link, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that. No, what the opportunity actually teaches you is how to look at opportunities and how to make the best of them. So now, if you can educate a person on all of the different tools that they need, and the best places to find them, which, hey, simply tell them, hey, Amazon. But they might not be thinking about Amazon, right? They might be thinking, hey, I got to go out to the local store. I got to go, try all this stuff. No, but you just helping them simplify their process. That could be worth them, paying for a document, an instruction manual, a $99, instruction manual, or as we often use in the industry, they love the number 7. So let's say a $97 lead magnet. And since it's a digital product and it's something that you created yourself, then you possibly have the ability to earn 100% commission on a product that you actually created yourself, right? So on a digital product that never runs out. So now you have these 100 people that you're going to serve and help solve their problem. And now you have a $97 product. And if you provide that solution to those people, that's almost 10K in solution worthy income. So if you do that on a monthly basis, right? Hey, you might have an updated document every month, something that gives them new information. So maybe every quarter, depending on how you structure your business, right? A legit business that provides legit solutions for people that have real problems. Now, let me keep moving through this presentation because we got a little bit to go. And of course, as I'm going through it, more things is coming to mind, and I could keep going. But I did kind of promise you guys that I wasn't going to try to keep you too long today. But the value, the things that I want to share with you is so important here that, it's worth taking our time. So it says here, these are evergreen, high demand physical products. And guess what? You don't need to know how to use the tools to make money recommending them. That's where affiliate marketing comes in. So you don't necessarily have to be the person that's out there doing the hard work. All you need to do is just know a little bit about the industry and what is required within that industry so that you can help provide the solutions. Now let's get to how a beginner can make more than a pipe fitter. So here's the truth. A pipe fitter earns money through labor. An affiliate marketer earns money through leverage. A pipe fitter must work 40 plus hours, travel to job sites, use their body, wait 5 years to hit six figures. So that was what was explained in that article. That's the information from a real life person, right? So we're not making up numbers. We're not, living in a fantasy world. You can actually do research yourself and find that these numbers are realistic and that's what this industry actually commands. And this is the truth about it. So this is not one of those hype sessions where it's to get you gassed up about something that might be true and might not be true or might be true for one or two people. No, this is true for, as it said in the article, the 800 or so applicants that would go through this process on a yearly basis. So this is the things that they have to go through. It's factual. It's not constructed. It's not just one person within that particular system or 10 people that have to do this and everybody else get a free ride or something like that or get to slip through the cracks. No, these are requirements. So that's what I want you to focus on, requirements, things that's non-negotiable. And that's what I want you to think about in your online business. Don't get caught up in your emotions. Don't let someone get you so caught up in your emotions that you're looking at you're looking at the end result, thinking that the end result happens for everybody. No. Thinking that just because you purchased that person's, training course or whatever that promises you an outcome that it's going to happen for you. No. I want you to be realistic. I want you to think logically, and I want you to be well informed. So, an affiliate marketer can start today, learn skills in weeks, build digital assets that work 24/7. They can possibly earn commissions without touching the tools, right? So you don't need to touch the welding helmet. All you need to do is find it on Amazon, see what it looks like, you know, go on there. Let's go back to the this particular helmet. You can hover over it, say, okay, that looks like a nice design and everything. Let's see, let's look at the next picture of it. Shade control, delay control. Huh. So you don't have to leave your house in order to, get an idea of the features and the benefits of it. And then once when you learn the features and the benefits, then all you have to do is share those features and benefits with someone who actually wants to use that product itself, right? So you can scale income without scaling hours. And that's what we call a leverage system. Being able to create something that works for you even while you're possibly sleeping. Your website is one of your tools. It's like a physical building for a, brick and mortar type of business. Now, most brick and mortar businesses, they close shop at a certain time a day. They might have, a 12-hour workday and then overnight it's closed. But your website, depending on what type of products and services that you promote and sell, that's up 24 hours a day. It might not require someone to have to call you and speak to you and have you answer a question. It could be something as simple as a digital download that you have that someone wakes up in the middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning. They wake up and they say to themselves, before I forget, let me go on this site and let me order this product because I know in the morning I might get busy, I might forget. So I need to have this, on its way to me, right? So that's how you got to start thinking. So it says you create content that helps pipe fitters choose the right tools and you earn commissions every time they buy. So we've talked about that. So the examples, this is the type of content that you can create. Top 10 tools every new pipe fitter needs. Best work boots for 12-hour shifts. Pipe fitter starter kit. Amazon links below. 5 tools that make pipe fitting easier. Okay, so you create that document, right? Or as we call it, a lead magnet. Now, I know I gave you the scenario with the digital product being, if you price it at, let's say, $97. But what if you gave away the document for free? And this is where people say, oh man, I don't know, I need to charge for this. No, you don't always have to. There's part of the industry and part of your training that you'll learn about how to build know, like, and trust, and how to present value to your target audience. And your document could be that one piece to the puzzle that helps you build that know, like, and trust with your audience. They're saying, hey, with this, they gave me a free document. They gave me a free taste test, like how you go to, Sam's Club or whatever, and they got the food in there, and you could get a sample of the food, and you're like, okay, this tastes good. Like, yeah, I think, okay, I'll actually purchase the food. Your lead magnet could be similar. You give that to the right people and they say, wow, this person is giving me so much value in this. Why wouldn't I click on their particular Amazon link within the document so that I can go right from the document? I'm looking at the document now. It's telling me I need this, that, and the third. Why wouldn't I just click on the link and have it take me to Amazon? Now, this goes back to what I said before about those cookies. They might click on the link and say, hey, okay, well, man, I'm running late. I looked through this document. I just wanted to see where the link actually went. Okay, I see it. It shows me this right here. I'm gonna come back to it later on today, or I'm gonna come back to it tomorrow. And let's say they come back, they just actually go to Amazon.com the next day, or while they're at work and they're on a break, they click on, they go to the link, and now they decide to make their purchase. It's still cookied to you. So you didn't lose out. What you did was you provided something valuable that is tied to you and that stays connected to you. And once when that person is ready to make the decision, you can have, the benefit of being compensated for that. So it says here, you become the trusted guide, not the worker. And with Amazon's affiliate program, you can promote thousands of products instantly. Literally thousands, probably millions. So now we want to get into the system that makes this work. So to make this profitable, you need 3 things. You need a simple content strategy, a funnel that captures leads, a system that promotes tools automatically. This is exactly what we teach inside our affiliate marketing network. So the opportunity that I share with you guys on a daily basis, right? This is how it teaches you how to build a business that doesn't require you to be an expert, just someone who knows how to connect buyers with the tools they already need. So would that be valuable to someone like you? Now, I know we're talking about laying pipe, right? But this is just an example. This is just one niche out of millions of niches, right? And for the right person, they'll take this information and say, hey, well, I know that there's 1,000 people who are applying to be plumbers on a yearly basis. There's a bunch of plumbers in my area. Or there's a bunch of people that I know that would love to be able to get into the plumbing industry because it's lucrative. Pipes burst once again, toilets clog. And for a person that might want to possibly save money instead of paying for a plumber, they might want to learn how to do plumbing themselves, how to fix the things in their homes themselves so that they can avoid having to pay that high price. So what if I created a document for people at home and a list of all the tools that that person might need in order to fix the various things in their home? And I put some Amazon links in there so that they can actually purchase those products, right? It can work in just about any industry imaginable. So now we go from talking about something that's just like, a one-off situation to something that's universal. Now we're talking about not something that's selling a course just for the sake of selling a course or anything like that, right? Who wants that? Who needs it? Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, "Hey, I think today I'm going to buy another course just so I can have somebody else buy another course and have them sell that course." No. That's why the conversion rates in this industry for most people is so low. It's because they're trying to promote something that nobody or just 1 or 2% of the population will ever want. And the fact of the matter that most people have to go through so much selling and convincing and, you know, kind of doing that real deep psychology work on a person in order to get them to see the opportunity as being a great opportunity. It's like I got to do it's funny to me when I watch a lot of trainings and I see all the work that's being put into it. I commend the people that do the work because they had to learn the skills in order to be able to sell, in order to be able to do that, right? But on the flip side, I think to myself, if you have to do all of this and you're trying to teach somebody else how to do the same thing, then they're going to have to learn how to do all of this. So their job is going to be just as hard as yours if you have them focusing on the same thing that you're focused on. If you're promoting or selling something that only 1 or 2% of the population will ever even want or consider, and they don't really want it, but you yourself, your job is to convince them that they actually need it, that's a pretty hard job. And then you're asking other people to do the same thing. That's that's one of the biggest challenges. And that's one of the major reasons why 95 plus percent of people online who use that particular strategy and have tried to duplicate that strategy, they never earn an income. It's because not because the skills itself are bad, not because the strategies are wrong, but for most people, they're applying the skills and strategies to the wrong products and services. They're applying it to things that people don't need. They're applying it to things that people don't want. And they're doing it because the person that's promoting it to them has gotten them so emotionally charged that all they can see is the end result of what they think the opportunity is going to provide. That doesn't work. Me, myself, I've learned this over all my course of time of being in this industry over 15 years. And the one thing I refuse to do, I refuse to lead people down a path that I know the majority of people will not be successful at doing. Not because they're not putting in the work, because I know a lot of people, and I'm one of those people. Put in a lot of work. I've put in a lot of work for years, done everything that they said to do and even more, and still didn't get the results that they said was possible. But I realized that I was also applying the skills to the same thing that they were struggling with, that took them so long and, so much investment into in order to make work. So I want you to have the simplest road possible. Now the skill set is easy to learn, but one of the hardest things to actually learn and actually, realize is that you need to take responsibility and you need to be your own man and woman about products and services that you want to promote. I just want to help you with those tools. I want to help you with the shovel, the axe pick, the bucket, because those are the universal tools, right? And I want you to be able to apply those tools to whatever it is that you have a passion for or whatever you feel like you can provide a solution to. And if I told you that, hey, you need to do this particular thing, that you need to focus on pipe fitting because pipe fitting is the best thing to do, and everybody else watching thinks that, oh, pipe fitting, oh, this is where it's at, and they all do it. Let's say we have 1,000 or 10,000 people, then it becomes just like the real world where everybody's competing for the same job. And how many positions can be filled? It's not unlimited. Yeah, everybody can do this, but if you flood the market with 1,000 plumbers on every corner, a plumber on every corner, then who you gonna go to? You might just pick the one that's closest to your house. Then it becomes, hey, it's not really about quality or value or whatever. For the customer, they might find somebody that does an all right job and they'll never know that you do a 10 times better job just because they was blinded by this person first who sold them a dream and said, hey, I can do it for this, or this is the best, we're the best in town. And you just go with them because it's so much noise out there. No, be that one off. Be that special person that steps outside of the box, that steps outside of, the guru mind control where they tell you that, hey, do it this way. Everybody needs to do it this way. Everybody needs to do it exactly the way I say and apply it to the exact same thing that I tell you to apply it to. No. Get the skills and then apply it to what you need to apply it to make it yours. Now we move on to this. This is where I actually start to, call out the real people that want to really learn, that want to learn. See, this isn't about, making any type of claims on, oh, how big this industry is, how much income you can earn and stuff like that. No, it's not about that. It's about finding the serious people that really want to learn and really want to build something that they can, possibly have for the rest of their lives, right? It's all about learning the skills. So it says here, if you're tired of watching other people win, if you're tired of feeling like you were meant for more, if you want to build an online business that can out earn a traditional trade without the 5-year apprenticeship, I want you to drop a hustle in the comments. So depending on where you're watching, if you're watching live on in the private group, if you're watching live on YouTube, if you're watching live on anywhere that we might possibly be showing this live training, I want you to put a hustle in the comments and I want to be able to respond to you. And I'll send you an exclusive training that shows you exactly how to start, even if you're a complete beginner. So your future doesn't change when you get lucky. It changes when you get hungry. It changes when you get hungry. Hungry enough to want to take action. Hungry enough for you to go out, find something to eat, you know, find that animal in the jungle, even if you have to go in the jungle and you have to, you know, get that cow and do what you got to do, bring it back home, fry it up, do whatever it is, once when you get hungry enough to be able to take action, this is what I want you to do. And before you even take action, I want to share with you some things that I got for you. that's going to help you on your journey. See, I want to give you some tools. I want to give you some tools that's going to help you, right? So just like a pipe fitter needs tools, you're going to need some tools for your particular journey. And you'll be able to apply them to any and everything that you decide to do. So this right here, guess I'll zoom in just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. So we got our banner up at the top. And then the first thing that I want to actually provide to you guys is what I call the Hustleverse 7 Success Principles. Now, this document right here, it gives you some non-negotiable things that you need to do. Some non-negotiables. And as long as you follow those non-negotiables, it's going to teach you and keep you in a consistent state of moving forward. Because that's what you need to build first and foremost. You need to make a decision, then you have to take action, then you have to take consistent action. So this right here, even though I have it listed as a $17 value, it's one of those, high value documents. But me personally, you know, I, you know, I try to keep it a little modest. I try to keep it a little modest, right? And then after that, we have something else that I know you are going to need, another tool set another piece of your tool set that you're going to need. So we talked about the fact that you're going to have to create content. So content gets attention, and attention are eyes that can actually turn into leads. So you're going to need to get as many leads as possible, right? So I want to give you what's called the Hustleverse VNA Expert Prompting Guide, right? So this prompting guide is designed to help you create pictures and videos, creative things that you can use in your content creation on a daily basis, right? So when you learn how to create content and be able to prompt, using the new technology that's out there, right? The AI, to be able to do 95% of the heavy lifting for you, right? Once you're able to master that, then you're well on your way to being able to create an unlimited amount of content. So that right there, that's valued at $97. And I say that it's undervaluing it because for the right person, that right there, that small investment into themselves could be something that makes the biggest difference, right? Content. Then the next thing we have is the Hustleverse Motion Playbook. Now, this goes in hand with the prompting guide, but the Motion Playbook helps you when it comes to more focused on creating videos. So a lot of people don't want to make videos. They don't want to be on camera themselves. They want to have, let's say, a AI avatar or what we call a hero that actually does all the promoting and does, the content creation stuff for them. And you want to be able to have that thing do some things, right? You might not want to have a static character that just stands there on screen and that just talk. You might want to create a specific type of superhero that flies around town, that does this and that. Hey, if you're helping people in the pipe fitting industry, you might have a superhero that flies around town, comes to people home, digs up some dirt in the backyard, starts laying the pipe, whatever situation, right? But you got to know how to actually prompt, and you have to know how to get them into motion in order to make the visuals come to life. So that right there, you see the value of that right there, right? And then we have something fun, something that I always say is one of the most valuable things that a person can have. It's not enough to have the opportunity, something that actually, does what it says it's going to do, right? Everybody, has something that somewhat does what it says it's going to do. But the determining factor is if you're inspired or if you're motivated and you're willing to put in the work. And I want to give you something that helps with that, helps give you that inspiration, that motivation on a daily basis. So, my Welcome to the Hustleverse Edutainment Bundle, it comes with two music albums. So the first one is, the album of the year for 2025, which is that Hustleberries Hustle, Tears, and Analytics album. And it also comes with the album of the year for 2026, which is that Welcome to the Hustleverse album. So with these two albums, you'll have that daily inspiration, something that, you can ride to, listen to on a daily basis. Even if you have kids, you can listen to it in the car with your kids as you take them to school or whatever it is, because we create positive, inspirational music. Nothing that's going to be detrimental to the ears of the youth, right? We inspire and motivate everybody. And what's better than having something that, you can ride with your family with and everybody gets inspired. Now everybody wants to be motivated. Everybody wants to be positive. Everybody's like, hey, who's that hustle bear? Who's that hustle berry? You have a son who can grow up to be the next hustle bear. You have a daughter who can grow up to be the next hustle berry. Positive, inspiring, somebody that has hopes and dreams and goals. That right there, I should have put a 1 in front of this 97 and made that 197 value. But it comes with those two albums, and it comes with an additional bonus training that I created for you guys. You have to get access in order to, get that bonus, right? Then, along with, having the playbook and the prompting, you need to, you might want to have another, more exclusive deep dive training on what I specifically use on a daily basis to create my content. And the best tools that I recommend, that will give you unlimited access, not like a lot of these other AI tools that say, hey, you get, you know, you pay monthly and then you have to be restricted to limited credits. A lot of these places, man, they say, hey, you get 30,000 credits, and you thinking that's a lot until you find out that you start creating a video, and a 30-second a 30-second video takes 1,000 credits or more, or 2,000 credits, right? And you're like, wow, I'm paying monthly on something that, you know, within a couple of days I'm running out of credits. And yeah, of course, a lot of them, they have credit packs that you can purchase if you run out of credits. But who wants to keep doing that? But in this training right here, I want to teach you how to create magnetic content. So, and introduce you to my favorite tools that are unlimited without, credit restrictions. So you'll learn how to create scroll stopping content that naturally attracts attention. You'll discover the psychology behind content that pulls people in and keeps them engaged. You'll be able to master a simple framework to attract, engage, convert without sounding salesy. You'll be able to turn your ideas into consistent content without overthinking or burnout. Learn how to build trust and authority even with a small or new audience. So the majority of us, or the majority of the people who will start on this journey, they'll start out from zero. Some people might have an audience already that they can just easily transition to and be able to say, hey, I just came across this new product or service that I think might be of value to this aspect of my audience. And that, some people have that audience. But for those that don't, want to help you with getting things started. So you learn how to use storytelling to connect deeper and increase conversions. How to stand out in the crowded space by creating content your way, not copying others. So you can look at other people's content, get inspiration from it, and then make it your own. Because one of the problems that you'll find online is this: a lot of people make great content, but if you try to take their content, or copy it exactly, it might not work. Sometimes, a lot of people, they use other people's music in their content creation, and then next thing you know, you're getting flagged, and it says, hey, you're getting copyright restrictions because You view somebody's song that they see that you're doing well. You're attracting the audience. You're possibly monetizing it. Now you got a copyright on it, or even more so, you'll get a notification saying, "Hey, your royalties or your commissions is being shared with this particular company or person or whatever," right? So you want to be able to create your own stuff. And you'll learn how to transform your content into a system that generates leads and income daily. Now, we talked about Amazon, right? So Amazon is one of those things that you can actually learn and be able to set up fairly quick and easy. But if you don't know how to set it up, I created an exclusive training. And that training I created probably almost 2 years ago on how to set up a Amazon associate account and start affiliate marketing today. So I'll give you access to this training. And right there, I put, hey, $27 value. Should be worth more. I should put a one in front of that. And that's because most people, like I stated, they go on Amazon on a daily basis and they never scroll to the bottom to see that particular opportunity. Now, you don't know what you don't know until you know. And even something as simple as showing somebody, hey, there's a link at the bottom, even though that's a simple action, that can help change their lives for the better. And that is worth something. That's valuable. Some people might say, man, you could have just told me that for free, man. You could no, no. Everything ain't always free. Everything isn't always free. And if you want something always being for free, then what is your potential customer or the person that you want to solve a problem for? What do you think they're gonna want? They're gonna want everything for free also, right? And what are you gonna say? Oh, just because you feel like everything should be free for you, you might get on a moral high ground and say, so everything's supposed to be free. Yeah, everything's supposed to be free. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to them for free. Then they ask to borrow your tools, and then you start lending your tools for free, and be like, hey, the neighbor that shows up every other day, hey yo, I ran out of sugar. Um, y'all got some sugar in the house y'all could spare. We today we ran out of eggs. The kids got to have some breakfast. You got a couple of eggs that you can spare. Can you give me something? And you start giving people all of the things that you have, all of the things that you had to work for. Mind you, at some point, even the person that wants something for free, they're going to get tired of somebody coming to them, asking them every day for something for free. They're going to end up snapping and like, yo, come on, son. Yo, don't you have a job? Don't you have money? Like, won't you go to the store and buy that for yourself? Won't you go, make it happen? I ain't got no more. I ain't got no more to give. So it comes to the point for a lot of people where that happens. Some people might want to get on a moral, like I said, moral high ground, and I see posts and comments in different people's posts like, oh man, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just give it away? Blah blah blah. If you was really trying to help or whatever, you would do this. Yeah. Well, if I'm in your town, why don't you let me? I know you got an extra bedroom. You don't use the extra spare bedroom. Why when I come to your town, why do I have to pay for a hotel room? Why I can't just come stay up in your spare bedroom for the night and save that money on a hotel? Why can't I avoid having having to spend my money and you get to avoid spending yours? It's crazy. So let's move on to the next section. And let me refresh this real quick. Sometimes Canva, when you do too much, it'll let you know that you're doing too much, right? It'll let you know that you're doing too much. So we refreshed it. So now I want to introduce to you what we call the community builders opportunity. So this opportunity, once again, is an educational opportunity. It's something that is designed to take you from point A to point Z. Is an ongoing learning system that teaches you how to, create the right mindset, how to look at things in a new and creative way. And it actually allows you to, be able to get access to additional tools to help you build your online business. So as you can see on the screen, there's different things that it comes with. There's the ability to earn commissions when you solve problems for people that might want to, be a pipe fitter solution specialist. So the community builders has the opportunity for a person to share with someone the training and the skills required to do that in their particular niche, whatever they want to, study. And as you can see, there's potential in that. There's a large potential. And the value of being able to earn on what we call a two-tier system, it's valued at $997 a year. And being able to earn upwards of 200% commissions, that's something that's kind of unheard of in the industry. But these are all things that's possible, but not guaranteed. See, you have to learn the skills in order to make anything possible. It's possible, not guaranteed. And nobody should ever think that it's guaranteed that just because I get into something that, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one just like that person that's talking that earned the six figures or the seven figures, that you're going to be the one. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that now you are able to acquire the same skills and the same information. Now, if you have the same mindset as that person, then that makes it that much closer to you being able to achieve similar, not guaranteed, but closer. Now we talk about AI, right? So we use AI nowadays. So you get an AI lead conversion system. So automated messenger that engages, nurtures, and converts your leads 24/7. So that's a $497 a year value. And we talk about leveraging systems, right? So imagine if you were in the real world and you had a brick and mortar business and you had to go out and hire people, right? Because you wouldn't expect to have somebody come in and do some work for you, and you saying, well, you gonna do this for me for free? Who's gonna work for free? So you got people that, work in call centers, they take messages, they nurture the customers, get that angry customer that call, and you got to calm them down like I used to do when I worked in the cell phone industry. Build that rapport with them, make them not want to, cancel that cell phone service. Oh, you guys, we had an outage. You need to give me a credit on my account because my cell phone service was down for an hour. How much how much you gonna give me off my bill? So I used to get all kinds of calls like that, but I was compensated for it. But imagine being able to have automated messages that engages, nurtures, and converts your leads. That's a $497 a year value. Who's going to do that work? What human is going to do that work for that little amount of pay? Nobody. For a year? Then we have auto updating community site. So your branded hub with dynamic event listings and affiliate links, zero maintenance. So we talking about tech here. So a community site. So of course, within the system, there's technicians that actually have to update, make sure everything is running right. Those technicians have to get paid because they're working, doing their job, maintaining what needs to be maintained. They're like the plumber. Pipes don't always stay good. The toilet, doesn't always just keep flowing regularly. Sometimes it doesn't even get clogged. Sometimes you hear the toilet just start running for whatever reason. It just start running. And you like, okay, something's wrong. It could be something as simple as that flap on the inside under the toilet, you know, something's with that. Maybe the chain snapped, right? Something as simple as that. But you need somebody to help you maintain that. If you don't know how a toilet operates, you might not even know to check up under that lid and see if that chain if that chain is rusted and snapped. But every industry has what you would call a maintenance worker. Now, those are specialty jobs, and those require, you know, they 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 demand or command high salaries. But right here we have this valued at 297 a year. Then you have team group chat plus social feed. Private on-site community for your downline, no Facebook dependency. So depending on where you're watching this at, you might have a love-hate relationship with your social media platform. You might get so upset that, hey, every time you say something, you think that you're saying something that's reasonable, but then the social media platform says, no, we don't like what you said. You didn't say it in the way that we think you should have said it. You want to avoid those types of things. And what is the value? How valuable is that for you? Yeah, you say, hey, I get to be on the social media platform for free. I don't have to pay nothing for the social media platform, but you have to pay with your, you know, with being quiet and staying in your place, so to speak. You can't say certain things. You're scared to say certain things because boom, they gonna slap you on the wrist. So a lot of people find value in being able to avoid those type of situations, being able to, you know, have their own community where they can speak freely. I think the value of that should be a lot more. It says valued at $197 a year, but I think that's worth more. Then we have a full affiliate product library. So every OLSP product tied to your ID because you get your own affiliate ID. So kind of like on Amazon, right? When you become an Amazon affiliate, all of those products on there, basically the link that you share with people, it has your affiliate ID attached to it. So that's how the system knows that, hey, this person came from Markel. And we should compensate him because his ID is the ID that's on the end of this link. So we know where it came from. So with our particular system, you get to promote anything in the catalog. And as you can see with the various commissions and stuff, it's not like Amazon. It actually gives you way higher commissions. So like I said, with this, that's unheard of right there. But then a lot of other products, like 50%, this, that, and the third. But it's various things that you can promote that solves problems, various tools. And one of my favorite tool on this platform, something that I use, something that's a valuable tool for just about any person that wants to build a business, something that honestly, we don't even talk enough about this particular tool within the system. We don't. Let's be honest. I'm going to be honest about it. They don't talk enough about this. And I feel as though it's one of the most valuable things within the platform because it's an actual tool that you can use and rely on day after day, month after month, year after year. This right here, the Go High Level account. So we call it within our system the Mega Builder. So what it is, it says it's the full GHL platform integrated with OLSP. So it provides you with funnels, automations, follow-up, and if you were to go to their particular site alone, it would be around $97 a month, a monthly subscription, standalone subscription for that. So the value is around $1,164 a year. Just if you were to go out and, pay for Go High Level, that I like to call it a complete marketing suite because it gives you all of these things right here listed and a whole lot more. So for example, I create blogs. So if you might be a blogger, so you need a platform to blog on. So this tool right here gives you that availability. What if you are a course creator and you want to create your own course? You can use this right here to create your own course. And something else that I'm gonna get to in a second when it comes to creating your own community. You can build your own community because it has its own standalone community that you can build for yourself and not have to be on anybody else's social media platform. So how valuable is that? That right there is very, very, very valuable. So we don't stop there. So what you get also, you get onboarding calls plus coach-led workshops. So if you've been watching me on a daily basis and I talk to you about, hey, we have this live training coming up, we have this Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we have some other things in between there that's only for specific people. That's only for specific members, people that decided that, hey, they want to, you know, be part of a community, be a community builder. We have things for them. And you'll get access to that, which gives you personal support, personal setup support, plus ongoing live training from OLSP coaches. That's a $497 a year value. Because of course, we talking about humans. So if you got support, imagine a company paying for customer service year round. Somebody, if you had to pay a customer service team, how much would you have to pay yearly for a customer service team? Even if you just had one person, come on, you're going to have to add a zero behind that for that person. Then we have what's called our enhanced viral hub plus downline bonus delivery. So what that is simply is it helps you amplify your content. And also you get to deliver bonuses and lead magnets to your team, which helps build loyalty. So we already talked about how you can create lead magnets for whatever particular niche. Imagine having a system designed that all you have to do is, hey, let's say it's a simple document like this, a Canva doc, and all you have to do is just click that share button at the top, get the link, and attach it to whatever product or service that we have that provides a solution within our system, and your bonus is attached to that. So that means when the person invests in themselves by purchasing the product that you're promoting, they get your product as a bonus. So that means that, means a few things. Something that's not talked about here, but when it comes to payment processes, that means that you have your own, kind of like your own payment process system built in where you can attach your own products and you didn't have to apply for your own payment processing system. That right there is priceless. Me being a full-time business owner, I've been in business with a six-figure business for the last 5 years. I've gone through payment processors, multiple payment processors, and I've learned the ins and outs of them. And I'm not talking about your simple basic processes like a lot of people might be familiar with, like PayPal and Stripe. No, there's other processors out there that major companies and major big businesses use. Now, these major big businesses, they don't use PayPal and Stripe. They don't solely rely on them. They rely on other payment processing systems that are built for, mass, amount of processing. And that costs money. That costs money. And fees alone, monthly or every year, that could be upwards of, on average, $3,000. I would say $3,000 to $6,000 a year that you can be paying, depending on what type of business you have, in processing fees. And to think that most processors charge a 3% processing fee. So just imagine having a business, a six-figure business, and you're paying $3,000 a year in processing fees, like I've had to do on a few occasions, and then having to pay multiple processors because you don't want to just rely on one, because processors are part of the lifeblood of your business. If a processor goes down, then you can't take payments. But within this amazing system, you have everything built in. You don't have to worry about that. Then you get everything you'll ever need. So you get the opportunity to earn various commissions. But like I said, it's only for the people that learn the necessary skills and that, go through the process of learning and constantly developing themselves. And we have a part of our system that's called the earn while you learn. So imagine being able to invite someone to a free webinar, a free training session. Now, I want you to think about this. What if you were able to get paid $1 for each person that you invited to a party? And they came and they attended the party and they say, "Oh man, this is a great party. I want to be a part of y'all team. I want to, organize the parties with y'all." Well, that's a marketing expense on the business aspect. So the owner of the particular company, like just like in the real world, money doesn't come out of thin air. Things aren't free to everybody. Just because you want something for free and somebody gives you something for free, it came with an investment from somebody else. Somebody else had to foot the bill. So imagine being able to be compensated for sharing an opportunity to learn with somebody else. I want you to start thinking about like what that really means. That means that you're becoming a real marketer. And some people are able to do this because instead of paying for paid ads, which can be very expensive, something else that I know of in one of my businesses, right? On a yearly basis, I spend over 100K a year in ads. It's not free to run a business. It's not free for me to run a business, and it won't be free for you to run a successful business either. So just imagine that. Me personally, growing up, I never thought that I would earn 100K a year, right? Just thinking about, hey, if I got a job that paid me that, I'd be happy. But just to be able to say, on a yearly basis that that's part of my expenses, just one aspect of my business, that's part of my expenses that I have to pay out to someone or to a company in order to get my business well known in the industry. Some people would lose their mind. And those people are the ones that would say, "Hey, can you share my business for free? Can you, you know, build my business for free?" No, it doesn't work like that. Investments have to be made on all people's side. And you should know, as a legit business owner, that you have to make investments. So all of these things here, I don't like to get into, talking about money because, you know, once again, I want to give this disclaimer. Nothing is guaranteed from a financial standpoint. I like to deal with the things that's more guaranteed. I like to deal with the fact that, hey, the information, I'm going to give you the information. The information is what the information is. The tools do what the tools do. That's what I like to deal in, and that's what I'm confident about. So all of this stuff down here, if you guys can see that, yeah, that looks good and that sounds good. But if you're not willing to put in the work to actually achieve it, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it with you, because that right there, I don't want you to get into your emotions. I don't want you to start jumping into your emotions, start, thinking about the end result. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to, you know, this is right here. This is what's going to happen. No, no, man, let's get real. Now, you about to make me use my New York accent, but I'm gonna refrain. I'm not going to do it. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: I'm looking for real people that are really looking to build real businesses, and those are people that are willing to put in the work. I don't care if it takes you a month to reach a goal to get your first lead, or if it takes you 6 months to get your first lead. I'm looking for people that's willing to put in the work and that's willing to do it for longevity, because the only people that deserve to be successful are the people that's willing to do the work of successful people. So don't fall for the hype. Don't listen to the people that says, "Hey, is this easy? Is that easy?" Because it's not. And I can say that. I can say that with confidence and proudly, because it took me years. I'm 15 years into this industry, and I'm still learning on a daily basis, and I'm still investing my time, money, and energy into building a business. And it's something that, I don't take lightly. And I don't want to connect myself with people that, as we would call them, I don't want to connect myself with lames. People that's not willing to put in the work, people that's going to complain every second of the day, people that's going to want things for free all the time, people that's not going to want to put in the work. You know, I tell those people, get out of my circle, get out of my way. I don't want to be next to you, because your laziness and your non-willing to do what's necessary, I don't want that rubbing off on me. I don't want to hear about your sob stories. Then your sob stories, you start telling me about your sob stories, or how it's so hard, and you know nobody ever did this for me, and nobody's giving me this, that, and the third. That rubs off on people. I don't want you spreading that within my community, and having other people, having it be like an infection to other people, having them say, well, I feel the same way. Ain't nobody doing this for me, and everybody should be. No, you do for self. You learn what it is that you need to learn so that you can get what it is that you want to get. So, with everything that I just showed you, we have the value here at around $6,428 plus. And this is what we call our community builder, product. It provides you with that, all of the things that I talked about, and so much more. Now, if you are interested in this particular opportunity, I want you to put a 4 in the comment section. A 4 in the comment section that represents, this is for me. Now, if you feel as though it's for you, then I want to talk to you. I want to be able to get you access to this. Now, with this particular opportunity comes a guarantee. So, if you join us in this opportunity, I want you to take first 30 days to do what's necessary, to put in the work, to go through the training, to learn, because this is a learning opportunity. This is an opportunity to put yourself in a mental state of mind that will allow you to command just about anything that you want. That's what you need to understand. So if you join for 30 days, set up your community site, activate the AI, promote from the full library. If you don't believe this is the most powerful affiliate infrastructure you've ever had access to, you get a full refund. No hoops, no hassle. Your risk is zero. Your upside is compounding. So like I mentioned, the compound interest, right? Like in the beginning, that doubling of the penny. Now it's on you to, you know, work the clock, make that penny double. The penny doesn't just double by itself. It takes it takes a driving force, and you're that driving force. You know, the sun is going to rise and fall, meaning that the system is going to be what the system is going to be. 24 hours is going to go by. It's going to go from day to night to day again. And that part is pretty consistent. It's been like that for the last however many centuries, right? So that's a given. But the people that wake up on each side of these days, that's the inconsistent part. That's the variable. That's the thing that makes everything a little bit more sketchy, a little bit more risky. See, you're the risk factor within your life. You are the riskiest thing in your world today. The decisions that you make, the decisions that you don't make. A lot of times the things that you do is like gambling. You decide, hey, you know, I need this, but I'm not going to act on it right now. I'm going to wait. It's kind of like, you know, I'm going to pull that wheel on that handle of that machine, and then I'm going to wait. I'm going to pull the handle, and I'm going to just watch it spin. And I might land on something, and I might not land on something, right? But you're the determining factor as to what actually happens when it comes to your life, and you're the riskiest part of it. See, everything outside is is a given. It is what it is. You know, there's traffic going by right now. I'm watching the cars go by, and cars do what cars do. They drive, right? They drive on the road. But what often determines whether or not you get into an accident is, hey, if you're one of those drivers and either you do something risky, or if you're walking and you're not looking both ways and you walk out into the middle of the street, that's mainly on you. You're the biggest risk factor. You know, you wake up one morning, you got a cold or a flu. Well, what happened? The day before yesterday, you didn't go outside with a coat and it was cold outside. That's a you issue. That's a risk factor that was caused by you, your decisions, the things that you didn't take action on, right? So I only want to work with people that's looking to take action. Now, if you decide that you want to take action, I got some exclusive bonuses that I want to add to this. And it's only for people that really want to take action and want to make things happen. So if we know how we can attach ourselves to to just about any niche possible, right? You've learned that in this training, how you can be in any business opportunity that you want. It just takes some creative thinking and a different mindset. But now, once when you start creating your content and you're promoting stuff to your audience, one of the biggest things that people struggle with is, what do you say to people? How do you respond to your audience? So I created an exclusive training, and this right here is called the 5 magnetic comment styles. So this right here is valued at $297. But what does it help you do? So no matter what social media platform that you're on, there's always a comment section. The comment section is a major part of your business. The comment section and the DM section, right? That's where you communicate with your potential leads and move them through your system, through your cycle, through your funnel. So with this training here, you'll be able to turn simple comments into profile clicks and inbound leads. Leads. That's the lifeblood of your business. You'll learn the 5 proven comment styles that trigger curiosity instantly. So most people don't buy because, the product is great, because you showed them how to do this, that, and the third. They usually buy, or they, want to know more because they're curious. They don't know exactly how it works or what it does, but they're curious. They want to see more. They want to be able to experience it, but they really don't know how it works. So a lot of times it's a curiosity factor, and you have to learn how to master that. So, and you also need to master how to engage without sounding salesy or desperate. See, me personally, you know, me having operated a business for over the last 5 years, I provide solutions to customers in specific niches. So I actually do the work. I have a business that operates, that provides these solutions. So, you know, I don't beg or push people to do anything. They have a need, and I happen to just step in their way, in their path, and say, hey, I noticed that you need this. Here's how you can get it. And they make that decision. So you need to learn how to engage without sounding salesy or desperate. And this also teaches you how to use psychology to make people want to respond to you. That's a big thing. That's that part of that curiosity also. Then it also teaches you how to build authority fast with high value strategic responses, how to increase visibility by working with the algorithm, not against it. Because all of these systems on all of these platforms, they're all algorithm driven. So you need to know what triggers the algorithm and what triggers people to take action. Because the algorithm is triggered by, what it sees. If it sees, hey, it doesn't matter if your post is a 10-second video or a 2-minute video. How long did any given amount of people watch your video for? Did these people engage? Did they like, love, or even if they put the angry emoji, they engage? So the algorithm is like, these people, they really feel some type of way about this content. They stayed long enough. They stayed on our platform because that's the whole point and purpose of the algorithm, is to identify what is generating the most engagement, interaction, and that's keeping people on our platform. Now, if a person looks at your content and they leave the platform in the midst of watching it, then the algorithm says, oh, this person is bad for business. When this person shows up, everybody else leave. It's kind of like, make me think about Friday, the movie Friday. It's like, when Debo shows up, everybody starts to scatter. That's bad for the neighborhood. Imagine the algorithm looking at you like Debo, saying every time this person shows up, people leave. No, we want people to stay. So we gotta get Debo up out of here. We can't have Debo in our neighborhood. We have to remove all of the Debos. We have to limit their reach so that nobody is affected by them, so that more people stay. Especially if we know that Debo is in the neighborhood, and even if he doesn't show up, it's like, man, it's still bad for business because people still thinking maybe Debo might be coming around the corner at any minute. So the algorithm doesn't even want to give the indication or allow a person like a Debo to even get a grasp. So you might post something and then nothing gets shown to anybody. Then you might actually show a great piece of content, right? One day Debo might change his ways and just, decide that he's a nice person. But the algorithm still remembers what happened. The natural effect of seeing Debo come to the neighborhood. And even though now he's dressed up, suit and tie, he looks nice, he's speaking good, he doesn't have the angry look, he's not snatching chains. Soon as they see him pop up around the corner, the algorithm like, nah, son, nah, yeah, you look like you might, you look like you doing the right thing, but nah, we gonna tell everybody to stay in the house. We gonna make sure everybody stays in the house and that they don't see you coming down the street. You might be there to help save the world. You might be there, Debo, walking down the street, come knock on your front door, just like your posts do, your social media posts. Knock on the front door, and the algorithm makes it so that now your door is soundproof. You don't even hear him knocking on the door. That's kind of what the algorithm does. It affects so much, and you gotta learn how to work with it, not against it. You also learn how to convert comments into real conversations, connections, and commissions. And you'll also learn how to stand out from generic marketers with intentional magnetic engagement. So all of these things that we have come together and they work together to help you build the best possible business that you can build. So I'll throw in that for the right person, right? Now, I want to also give you some other additional solutions that I've created myself. So the first solution is this right here. This is a screenshot of one of my apps that I created. And this is called the Hustle State app. This app right here I talked about in previous lives, but it's very powerful. And as you can see here, this coupled with the Hustleverse Edutainment Media Player are two powerful tools. So the Hustle State app itself, right? As it says here, it helps you create your help statement. So if you don't know exactly who you are in a situation, you might say, hey, you know, I sell products to pipe fitters. Yeah, that might be what you do, but it's not attractive. It doesn't sound like something, you know, that somebody would want to really gear towards. Or you might say, hey, I help people lay pipe. How does that sound? That sound a little funny. Once again, depending on where you from, you know, you might be like, what? You help people do what? But a help statement, it helps you craft what it is that you do and who you help in an attractive way. Now, once when you know who you are and who you help, this right here will also help you create your own marketing strategy. So not only will it, tell you who you are, it'll also tell you who's your target audience. It'll help you identify who's your target audience. And just so I can show you the app itself, let me go here and I'm going to show you an example. So for example, recent activity, I help create strategy for affiliate marketing. Now, this strategy right here, it gives you a breakdown of content pillars. So marketing strategy details. So this right here, I believe this was about, AI tools. So 30% of your content strategy in this particular case would be about AI tools for affiliate marketing. So you're going to showcase various AI tools that can simplify the affiliate marketing process, making it easier for marketers to generate leads and conversions. Then part of your content strategy, 25% of it, would be lead generation strategies. You're going to give your audience lead generation strategies. Then 20% of your posts will be success stories and case studies. So as you're going through the process, as you're going through helping people and you're helping people solve their problems, you should be getting some case studies and some, information and feedback from people that said, hey, I appreciate what you did. Man, this is the results that I was able to achieve from what you shared with me. And this should be part of your content creation and your posting. Share with your community how you have helped serve people so that they, feel more comfortable and they feel like, okay, this is the type of person they help them. So yeah, maybe, I'll give them a chance. I see these case studies. They've already given me some strategies. They already told me about what tools they use. Then, they started giving me some tips and tricks for engagement. So they provided some actionable tips to boost engagement and connect with the target audience effectively, helping marketers to create a loyal following. They helped me do all that. They talked to me about mindset and motivation. They helped me empower my audience with motivational content and positive mindsets that encourage persistence and resilience in the face of challenges. I want to ask you guys this. Have I helped you in any of these cases during this live? Have I provided you with any of these, aspects, any of these content pillars within this live training or within any of my daily lives? This right here marks what? Over 230 consistently showing up Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. EST time live. So I've been here showing up, giving value. So did I give it to you today? And then we go further in the tools. We got the breakdown of what to post, but now what do we post? So content ideas, gave 19 content ideas. So here's one. Top 5 AI tools every affiliate marketer should use. So now I see this and I want to, that's a headline, that's a title, along with 18 other ones. Now what happens if I press this button here? It's going to expand on that. It's going to actually write and create and generate the post itself. So now all I have to do is copy. I can either do it the old-fashioned way, drag, right-click, copy, or I can hit this copy full content button and then paste it into whatever social media platform that I'm using. So we have that. And then we have our library, our personal library where we can access all of this help, all of the saved help statements and marketing strategies in one organized place. And then if you need, to be able to see it on a calendar, we have a section here that's for your content. It's a content calendar. So today is May 1st. And as you can see, it's highlighted on today. We have our section right here of all of the posts that we generated for the ideas, right? So let's say I want to schedule out my whole month. I got 19 ideas, right? So let's say for 19 days, what I do, I drag this over. We got what we need for day one. I drag this over here for the second of the month, third. And then what I want to do is each day that I wake up, I want to post my content. I look at my calendar. I say, okay, today I want to open my particular platform. So where I want to post to, if I want to post to Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, right? So I get the ability to add my own links to whatever platform I want to share to, right? So I open. So today right now I want to share to LinkedIn. So I click this link right here and it opens my LinkedIn profile. And then I press this button here to generate my post content. And once when it gives me my post, I just copy that and paste it into my LinkedIn or whatever other platform. So this gives me my full content calendar that will allow me to post on a daily basis. And I never run out of ideas because I can generate new strategies in a matter of minutes, right? So what are we talking about? I look at other things, I try not to get petty because I've been creating online tools for the longest. Even before, AI really became popular, I tested out and did things with simple HTML code, not even knowing anything about HTML, but, you know, using the AI when it was in its infancy stage to say, hey, write me this HTML, you know, app, simplified joints, right? But now with the advancement, I'm able to create more creative apps. So now this one right here, this is our Hustleverse Edutainment Media Player. So I know I talked to you guys about the Edutainment Bundle with the 2 albums of the year. So those high quality, some of those handcrafted, hand-picked songs that's designed to inspire, motivate, and keep you moving, keep you working on a daily basis, right? But this right here, I decided to go a little bit deeper. So I created my own media player. So it not only has a collection of, right now currently, probably over 100, probably around 100 songs. And in the midst of it, not only just songs, but I also have podcast episodes. So a lot of the things that I've created with one of my favorite business partners, the AI, I've created some podcast trainings. So we have some podcast episodes sprinkled throughout that's designed to educate, like this one, AI perspective from seed to super saiyan. What is that about? You need to hear the podcast. You need to get the inspiration, the motivation. You need to, AI unlocking affiliate marketing. You need to hear what that's about. You need to hear all of these songs that'll keep you going as you're riding. One of my first mentors in the online industry, his name is Mr. Holton Buggs. He used to tell this story that I heard over 10 years ago about how he used to listen to an audio cassette every single day that motivated him. And he listened to it while he was in his car driving from place to place, from meeting to meeting. And it, fueled him. It educated him to the point where he became the #1 network marketer in the world. He actually generated over $1 million a month. And he was one of the first people to ever do that in the industry of network marketing because he was so committed to the process of learning. He had his audio tapes that fueled him every single day. So instead of him watching TV, wasting time, he would have these audios playing. Instead of him feeding his mind with negativity and, whatever other nonsense in the world, he fueled himself with things that, played on repeat in his mind. So that once when he was ready to do his own presentations and speak in front of people, he can draw from everything that he learned, all of the quotes, all of the inspirational things, all of the things that inspire people to actually take action. He had that in his subconscious, and it was beat down so much into his subconscious that, he can just say it and deliver it any given moment. And that's the type of level I want you to be on. And that's the type of level that I strive to be on a daily basis. And that's why I can actually do a live for over an hour, well, over 2 hours and 19 minutes, right? That's why I'm able to deliver a message in such a creative, different way, unlike anything you've ever heard, because I've become a student of this industry. I've immersed myself so much into this, and I put in my 10,000 plus hours. I won't say that I've mastered it because some people, they relate mastering something to, making the most money in it, right? Hey, That's how they want to look at it. That's cool. I look at it as the value that you can bring. And I can bring value in so many different areas, so many aspects of this business that it puts me on a level that's outside of the box from the average online marketer, even your favorite guru. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. I'm done playing games. I'm done playing humble with people because humble people get ran over. Humble people get hit with all types of stuff and they get left in the dust for the most part. Now, there's a difference between not being humble and, being disrespectful. So I'm not a disrespectful type of person. I'm just a real person. I see what it is and I understand that for the most part, just like in your life, I'm the only person that can save me. So I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna keep it real with you because you're the only person that's gonna be able to save you. So right here, I want you to take a look at this. So once again, back to this community builder bundle. So this bundle right here, it says the total value of everything that I've just shown you is a value of $8,521 a year. That's the value in it. That's keeping it light. That's keeping it light. Now, of course, with a value of something like that, you know, I don't expect you to pay that on a yearly basis, even though you should. You should. It's worth that. It's worth that and more. But this is what we have for you within our amazing system. So we have two options. First option is this. You get a massive discount. So you get about 75% off. So it says right here, $1,997 a year to be able to operate this type of business that gives you everything. Everything that you just saw. Everything that I shared with you, the apps, the trainings, the ongoing mentorship, not only from myself, but from my business partners who have also been in this industry for years and that show up consistently. See, me myself, I don't partner with people that are fly by night. Once again, now this being one of my first ever live webinars, live trainings, and me talking to you guys about this after me being in the industry for about 15 years. I've been a part of so many opportunities and I've never done this before. And that's because I've never found a situation or opportunity where I felt comfortable enough and secure enough to, want to put my name and my reputation behind something. So that says a lot about what we have to offer. Because me personally, I don't change. I keep moving. I stay consistent. I'm one of the most consistent people you will find in any given situation. I think about my cell phone provider. I had the same cell phone provider since I was in high school. T-Mobile. It was VoiceStream or Suncom back in the day. So over 25, 25, 26 years, I've had the same cell phone provider. I don't change much on too many things. I love consistency. I show it and I display it in my daily activities when I show up for you guys. I show up in my business. And this is what I want to bring to you. So not only do you get everything that you have here, the things that you see, but you get the things that you might not really, fully understand. The things that's really valuable. You get coaches and mentors that, have proven that they can stand the test of time. And that's what you want. Products and services, they come and go. Somebody, creates a system. They might update it, change it, or they might shut it down. But then as long as that person is still alive and they still have the skills, they might start a whole new company. And then them starting a new company, they bring on new people, or they bring people from the old system to the new system. Like recently, we went through a major upgrade within the last 2 months. We created a whole new website and ecosystem. Some people, you know, they only remember the last website, the last system, the last version. Some of those people, they haven't even accessed the new system. They've fallen off. They didn't keep consistency. They don't know that we have something new and exciting to offer. But the people that stayed and showed up consistently, those are the people that I applaud. And that makes me want to share this opportunity. So you have this option one. And if you take advantage of this, you get access to everything that I shared with you. Now, here's option two. Now, I know that everybody doesn't have the same situation. Everybody can't afford to invest in themselves the same way that someone else might be able to. So here's option two. So this right here is option two. It says for $199 a month, you'll be able to take advantage of everything that I shared with you guys. You'll be able to get access to all of the tools. You'll be able to, join the trainings. And that's an amazing opportunity also. It's all on you. So being able to have choices in a situation, I love being able to give people choices and options, because back in the day when I wasn't able to take advantage of one option, when people said, hey, this is all I got, you either take it or leave it. And I was forced to say, I got to pass. And you feel that pit in your stomach when you got to pass on something that you know is a right decision. And you like, if only they had a second option, I'd be able to take advantage of it. So I wanted to be able to share with you this second option. So if you're ready, I want you to, once again, I want you to put a 4 in the comment section right now, because that 4 represents that this is for me. And if it's for you, then I want to partner with you. And I want to be in your ear on a daily basis. I want to continue to show up for you, and I want to be able to continue to show up for your community and bring your community into my community and into our overall community, and introduce you to some people that you need to be connected with. Because part of building a successful business is also partnering with the right people, being in the right room with the right people, so that you can not only get those insights, but so that you can also be able to bounce things off of each other and possibly partner with them. They might have some things of value that you never thought about. Now, I don't consider myself to be the end all be all. There's some things that I'm not the best at or the master of. I will tell you this. I might be a jack of all trades, meaning that I know a little bit about just about everything. And there's not too many aspects of this industry that I haven't experienced or tried to learn or got my feet wet in some aspect. So don't ever think that I'm a slouch. Don't ever think that, you might have an idea about something, or you might have a question about something. Yes, I possibly know a little bit about whatever it is that you have a question about. But the great thing about joining our community is that we have some people that have committed and dedicated their lives to becoming experts in specific areas. So we want to be able to introduce you to those people when you get connected. So that's what this gives you the opportunity to do. Learn and connect and be able to take advantage of everything that we have to offer. Now, this last slide right here, this right here is exclusive to the Hustleverse Action Takers. This is an exclusive Hustleverse Action Takers bonus. It's only for, select people. Now, this one right here will give you access to my personal private Go Collab group. And in that group, I'm going to have this right here. As you can see, the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. I'm going to have all of those valuable lives. I'm going to have a good majority of them archived there. Now, I tell people all the time that first and foremost, you have to understand who you are. And I learned who I was years ago. I am a skilled solution specialist. I help people solve problems. And my skill set is valuable. Now, if I was to sit with you and talk to you for an hour, I value my time at a minimum of $100 an hour. That's it. That's a minimum. So the value that I can bring, like I said, there's various things that I can teach you about, things that I've experienced, and things that I can help you with. Now, you might think one thing is important, and we start talking, and I tell you, nah, well, you shouldn't. That's not what you should be focusing on. If you're trying to get this type of result, then leave that alone. Leave that type of thinking alone. Leave that aspect alone. This is what you need to be focusing on. And that's valuable. So me giving you an hour's worth of my time, being valued at $100 an hour, right? And I've done over 225 lives now, giving you consistent value on average for an hour. Now today's live, giving you a little bit above average, right? We're at 2.5 hours right now. So just imagine, I got more in me. I could keep going, I could keep talking, but I'm not gonna hold you all day. I'm gonna save some because I always got some left to give. So next week or next strong, I'm gonna be back. Monday morning, I'm gonna be back. Just like I was here for 46 strong weeks already. But in this right here, in the Go Collab, because all of the lives, they aren't available, right? So when we go live on Facebook, it only stays live for 30 days. So a lot of the great information that I've shared is no longer available on Facebook. But I still archived it. I still got a lot of it, or the majority of it, over 200 episodes saved. And I'm going to share it exclusively in my Go Collab group, along with other exclusive trainings. So you'll have access to that. And that's well over a $10,000 value, right? See, I cut myself short, right? With that, right? So if I have 200 recordings, right? An average of an hour each, right? The value of my time being $100 an hour, right? That's more like $20,000, right? Value. So I gave you a major, I discounted my value in this number right here. I discounted my value in this number right here. But this right here will only be available to those that take advantage of option 1. So if you take option 2, the $199 a month, you won't get this additional bonus. You won't get the Go Collab private group, and you won't get the additional exclusive trainings that I have for you there. That's your choice. That's your choice. So if you're ready and you're interested in joining the Hustleverse, then once again, for the last time, I want to ask you to put a hustle in the comment section, and I want to welcome you to the Hustleverse. where creativity clocks in and excuses clock out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. I gave it everything that I had. You know, I did what I do. I go above and beyond to break things down in a way that you won't receive it anywhere else. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's exclusive live training on what we call Freedom Friday. Hopefully I've given you guys some information, some edutainment, right? Because this was for educational purposes. I wanted to educate you guys more than anything else. I want you to be educated about the possibilities of your life. And I wanted you to see, I'm going to be a little petty right now. I wanted you to see a person who really does what he does. I want you to be able to determine and recognize the difference between a person that just talks it online, you know, those link sharers, those people that, you know, put out 1-2 minute video and then they disappear, or they claim to be, you know, this, that, and the third, but you never really see them in action. You know, those people, my goal was to help you separate and recognize the real from the fake. Like like they say where I'm from, you know, don't tell me who you are, show me who you are. And hopefully this video right here has showed you who I really am. I am who I say I am, and then some. So I didn't give you everything in this because, you know, it would take too long. It would honestly take too long. I'd have you here all day if I shared with you everything, every aspect of who I am and what I have to offer. But we have time. If you become a community builder and you decide to take action, then we can spend some time getting to know each other and moving forward. So with that, you know, I want to pull up something special. I want to close out strong. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I usually close out with one song. And of course, part of that magnetic content creation training that I shared with you, right? Part of that training is going to show you the process that I go through when it comes to creating my music videos. So if you're interested in making music videos or any type of content, then it's in that magnetic content creation training. So everything that I do is what I do. Everything that I share is from my personal use and from what I do. So I don't teach you anything that I don't know about, because that would be what a sucker does. You know, people talk about stuff that they have no idea what they're talking about. They claim to be this, that, and the third about something that they don't know anything about. And then what happens when you get involved with them? What happens when you got a question from them? They either ghost you because they all they wanted to do was get you in the door and disappear and collect on it. They have no more energy after that. They have no more juice after that. But once again, it's my job to help you separate the real from the fake. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue to do. I'm gonna keep showing up, showing off, whether one person shows up or 100 people show up. And now it's on you to make sure that the value that you see here is shared with as many people as possible. And I wanna, you know, I wanna throw in one more bonus before I go. I don't know. I didn't even put up uh, uh, I didn't put up a page for this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there because I feel like, you know, I feel like it need to be done. I don't even know what the value of this bonus is gonna be. I would say there's probably a $1,997 value, right? So if you take action today and you become a community builder bundle, you know, if you get this bundle and you take advantage of option one, I'm going to give you exclusive access to this live webinar right here. And I'm also going to give you the document itself. I'm going to give you this document so that if you want to recreate the training yourself, if you don't like the sound of my voice, if you feel as though you can deliver it better than me, cool. Cool. I want you to do whatever's best for yourself that you feel as though is going to get you the best results. But if you want it just the way it is, you're going to get access to this live training that you can share with your community so that you don't even have to do your own webinars. All you have to do is change up the links, right? All you have to do is, you know, give them, access to your personal link once when you get started. Make sure that you're collecting the value for yourself. Make sure you're learning what it is that you need to learn. And then let me do some of the heavy lifting. That's what I call the difference between you being a customer as compared to being a business partner, right? I don't know of anybody else that'll do this or that's doing this, giving you access to my exclusive webinar so that you can share, make with it as your own with your community. And all you got to do is just sit back and watch it over and over again with your community. Play it as a live for yourself and play the video with a group of people. And there you go. And share it. And that's what real business partners do. So that's the last bonus that I'm going to throw out there for you. Now, I'm looking for a particular song. And, one of my favorite songs come to mind. And that song is, Bonus Bundle Graveyard. Because, I talk often about how a lot of people throw around bonuses that really are like useless. But I know that with all the bonuses that I've provided you guys with today, they are things that you can actually use and that you should use on a daily basis. And like the music and everything, the tools, is not something that that you should have in the archive and hey, I'm gonna pull this out once in a while and you know, I'm not gonna ever go back to it. No. It should be something that you use on a daily basis. The music, like I said, the music player, that should be your daily driver. That should be something that you listen to and engage with on a daily basis. So I found bonus bundle graveyard music video. I'm gonna play that and I'm gonna play a couple other videos. I might not stop because I got so much value to offer. I might not stop. But you can leave when you want to at this point. But I want you to take advantage. And if I don't see your comments and you want to message me directly, then you can always, connect with me on my Facebook page. Send me a direct message saying, hey, give me the link to this opportunity. I'm ready. And you could get it that way. Or as usual, I always say it, right? You can start with the most valuable document in all of online marketing. And you can click this link here and you can get access to our system. And then you can make the update to the community builder right from this link here. That's why this document is so valuable. I keep telling you guys, the value in this one document is crazy, and you'll see it. You'll realize it. So with that, I'm gonna fade to the back. We're gonna start out with bonus bundle graveyard, and then we're gonna get into a couple other tracks. Just because I feel like sharing more value, and I want you to leave out here on an inspired, motivated note. Once again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next live.
They showed me the extras before they taught me the craft. Promised me everything, except how to last. Welcome to the bonus bundle graveyard. Stacks of bonuses, none of them breathe. Hard drive full of dreams I ain't need. Pay for the hype, but the value stayed buried. R.I.P. Open the bonus bundle graveyard. Go play the lessons that never got used. Shortcuts that led me straight back to the blues. I stopped chasing more when I learned what carried. Truth don't die in the bonus bundle graveyard. They said, look at the value, I looked at the price. Could've bought clarity twice with the time I sacrificed. Every module a promise, every promise a delay. Kept me busy feeling rich while I stayed in the same place. Folders on folders labeled breakthrough, but no map on how to walk it through. Just urgency clocks and expiring deals. Fear dressed up as opportunity rails. They said you lucky, look what you got. But possession ain't progress if you stuck in the box. I mistook accumulation for growth. Thought more tools meant closer to hope, but knowledge and use is just noise in disguise. And I drowned in the data before I learned why. That's when it hit me. Simple and scary. Most dreams die quiet in the bonus bundle graveyard. Yeah. Stacks of bonuses, none of them breathe. Hard drives full of dreams I ain't need. Pay for the hype, but the value stayed buried. R.I.P. Open a bonus bundle graveyard. Go play the lessons that never got used. Shortcuts that led me straight back to the blues. I stopped chasing more when I learned what carried. Truth don't die in a bonus bundle graveyard. I seen folks flex downloads like net worth, but can't explain how to make the first dollar work. Got 20 logins. Forgot the basics, still asking why I failed like the system racist. Nah, truth hurt, but it set me free. Wasn't the tools, it was way I think. I wanted speed without repetition, wanted wins without the friction. They sold me shine, never sold me sweat. Never taught this blend, just that. Every guru smiling from a rented jet. Selling confidence, they ain't tested yet. I had to unlearn the thrill of buying belief. Had to sit with discomfort, start a relief. That's when momentum finally married. When I left the dead weight in the bonus bundle graveyard. In the bonus bundle graveyard. One plan, one focus, one skill, one skill sharpened daily. I don't need more noise. I need proof that pays me. Now I invest in guidance, not glitter, in conversations that make me better, in reps, routines, accountability checks, and showing up tired and still giving my best. I don't need 50 ways to begin. I need one way done again and again. I build with builders, not sellers of dreams, not people addicted to packaging schemes. If it don't move me forward, it don't get space. I don't decorate stalls, I finish the race. I learn real value, don't need a parade. It whispers and habits you do every day. So if you digging through hype, feeling buried, take the shovel of truth I carry. Stop buying hope, start earning clarity. That's how you escape the bonus bundle graveyard. Stacks of bonuses, none of them breathe. Hard drives full of dreams I ain't need. I ran through the noise, kept what carried. Left the rest buried in the bonus bundle graveyard. No more chasing more. I chose what's real. One path, one plan, one sharpened skill. I don't own what was never necessary. I rose up out the bonus bundle graveyard.
I used to wait for permission, wait for proof, wait for perfect. But one day I wrote it down. Everything I believed I could build, And that page became my blueprint. The most valuable document I ever owned. Wasn't signed by anybody else. It was signed by me.
I wrote my name in faith, not fear. Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand.
I waited too long for a sign to start. Thought I needed skill when I needed heart. Thought I needed a team, a brand, a gate. But clarity hit, all I needed was faith. I wrote my dream like scripture lines. Each goal a verse, each grind a sign. Every late night doubt became a note. Proof that progress live where hope gets wrote. You don't need followers to start the spark. You need a system that can light the dark. I built mine raw, no fancy spin. Just me and the page, that's how I begin. The doc ain't paper, it's process proof. It's faith made visible under my roof. If you knew your pen could change your fate, you write more plans and less debate.
I wrote my name in faith, not fear. Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand.
They said, wait till it's perfect, wait till it's clean. But perfection's a cage disguised as a dream. I built in motion, mistakes and all. Progress paid louder than the fear I stalled. Systems turned chaos into flow with ease. Automation gave rest to the parts I please. Built a business that breathes while I sleep. It paid like an owner, not hours I keep. Part 1, start small, get clear, no flex. Part 2, build structure, compound checks. Most never make it to part 2's door, cause fear made them think they needed more. But the truth I learned when I stopped to wait is you build freedom the second you create. I ain't wait for a nod or a title to earn. I wrote my permission and watched it turn.
Wrote for all my name in faith, not fear. Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand.
Yeah. You don't sign success, you script it in time. Each day's inked out for the bottom line. No notary stamp, no boss is not. Just one man's vision and the grace of God. I printed purpose, proof, and plan. Then watched it multiply by hand. Consistency the seal, belief the frame. I built my freedom from my name. Every scroll I share, every course I teach. Just a mirror for the goals you preach. Don't wait for green lights that never turn. Fire your fear, let your freedom earn. I learned the wait costs more than try. And dreams decay when you let them die. You ain't gotta beg to build your brand. Just write your faith and take your stand.
I wrote my name in faith, not fear.
Yeah.
Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand. I wrote my name in faith, not fear. Built my piece from the paint right here. Didn't need a crowd, just a pen and plan. The most valuable doc came from my own hand.
I decided years ago to design my own world so that my daughter can benefit from living in it. And this is what I came up with.
Let me cook for a second, let the chef inside me rise. I've been stirring up a masterpiece that don't feel normalized. Been awake for 30 hours, fueled by purpose, grit and ties. Ideas bubbling out the pot like they immune to compromise. Every stroke is intuition, every color got a voice. I've been building from the mud with every failure, every choice. And the world don't always get me, but my soul refused the noise. Cause the vision ain't for doubters, it's for hustlers who rejoice. I got layers you ain't ready for, dimensions you can trace. Every thought a revolution, every line a sacred space. I don't chase the crowd approval, I don't beg for them to grace. I just cook until the world feel the fire in they face.
Least like but I'm diverse, that's the cost of thinking free. Amount of media shower wild storms inside of me. I don't fear the risk, I breathe it, that's my hustle pedigree. I create what moves the future long before the future sees.
Least like but diverse, my mind it never sleeps. Exploding in the colors, ideas running deep. I gamble with creation in the shadows that I keep. This game is for the fearless, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash. You don't catch my vibration cause your wavelength ain't aligned. I'll be working through the sunrise like there's galaxies to find. You confused by where I'm going cause I'm built a different kind. From the digital to spirit, every thought a redesign. Content wild, unpredictable, I refuse to fit a box. Every scroll another spectrum, every post a paradox. I'll be bright across your timeline like a neon equinox. Turn your feet into a canvas while I break creative locks. They don't get the innovation, they just see what look bizarre. But a hustler ain't a hustler if he dim is in a star. You can call it strange or different, I just call it who we are. Genius never look familiar when it's stepping out the car.
Least like but I'm diverse, that's the truth of making gold. You can't measure innovation in a system built to mold. My ideas fly electric, too rebellious to hold. This is all that breaks the limits, this is hustle uncontrolled.
Least like but diverse, my mind it never sleeps. Exploding in the colors, ideas running deep. I gamble with creation in the shadows that I keep. This game is for the fears, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash. Yeah. Colors paint my mental screen. Every thought a brushstroke loud, turning chaos into poetry that make darkness feel profound. I've been breaking 7 cycles every time I stand my ground. Refusing routines made to keep a visionary drown. What you call unusual, that's my method to the climb. What you call disorder, that's my symphony in time. Don't conform to petty limits built by people scared to try it. Everything I craft is freedom, every line a battle cry.
You scroll and shake your head like what world is he inside? But my world for the sleepers is for those who never hide. Every thought a revolution, every post a shifting tide. This my art, my breaking news. Watch the universe collide. Frequency high, ideas fly. Groundbreaking, watch me try. Do as me try, watch my ride. Creation spirit never die.
Least like but diverse, my mind it never sleeps. Exploding in the colors, ideas running deep. I gamble with creation in the shadows that I keep. This game is for the fearless, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash, and the visions they unleash.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you? Then I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash. like it was never in me. It's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You depending on the source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, just a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I don't need a reason. I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. I move with meaning. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more chasing internal driver. That's what's leading. That's what's leading. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected, but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle, there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout. It pulls. It don't beg. It demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back.
There's gonna be days you don't feel like it.
There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway.
There's gonna be days you question everything.
Keep going anyway. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated. They're the most committed to something deeper than motivation. I don't need a reason. I don't need a reason. I am the reason.
I don't need a feeling.
I don't need the feeling.
With meaning.
I move with meaning.
No more waiting. No more waiting.
No more chasing internal driver.
That's what's leading.
When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it or if you was just borrowing it.